Hi guys, so this is our holiday edition of Dolly Diaries. Normally we would have a cute intro with the pets, but we originally weren't even going to film it this year because if you guys didn't see a notification on my community page, on December 17th our guinea pig Nevaeh passed away, and this whole month just kind of disappeared because
she was sick for like 2 weeks before that, so it was just crazy.
It was crazy. It was really difficult. She was only 3 and a half. I have a post about it on the community tab. I'll explain more about Nevaeh in a different video because this is already going to be a long one. So we didn't even decorate for Christmas this year because it was just so chaotic, and I couldn't put the tree up where I normally do because Bonnie is there this year. So
and it's just still Christmas.
I will reintroduce all of our pets and update you guys probably in our first episode of Dolly Diaries for 2019, but I didn't do it this year, so no cute holiday intro. I hope you guys understand that things were crazy, but I decided that even though it was a really sad thing that happened, that like life moves on and you shouldn't give up things that make you happy because you lose somebody or something, and you just have to kind of come up with a new tradition. And I mean, we're no strangers to loss, obviously, so that was one of the reasons, because I want to help people who maybe are going through loss and are thinking of giving up stuff because they're hurting so badly, because I've done that before in the past.
And it doesn't make you feel better.
It doesn't, and it's not, the person that you lost wouldn't want you to live that way. I can guarantee it. They would want you to be happy. And I looked back at some footage we had of Nevaeh in our old Dolly Diaries and holiday editions in particular, and it made me really happy seeing that like I filmed that and that we like documented that part of our lives and shared it with you guys. So just looking back at my old videos kind of motivated me to do it this year. So enjoy this non-festive episode, and we'll see you guys.
It's semi-festive.
Semi. So I'm about to put a bunch of dolls downstairs. These are my Heart Family dolls that I had up for a video. And they actually stayed up here because I wanted to redo all the photos in their album, and Colleen wanted to set up the thumbnail for that video as well as a My Story post on Flickr for them. So they're all going downstairs now. And then these dolls, when I was going through containers getting things, I noticed that Rocker Derek, Beach Glam Summer, my fashion photo PJ, and Star's friend Kelly were kind of like in need of a bath. Look how nice her hair turned out. And I'm really impressed with how well PJ's face cleaned up. It looked clean before, but it looks squeaky clean now. So, yep, and then this doll, I showed a clip of me, I'll insert a clip of me cleaning her on Thanksgiving. One of my relatives, he's gotten us Barbies every year for Christmas since 2013, and he gave us some dolls at the beginning of the year. If you watch those Dolly transformation videos, he works at the town dump, and someone threw out this really cute baby doll. She's porcelain, and he gave her to us, as well as this coloring book he found, which will be really good for some of the pages are colored, but some of these will be really good for certain like photo ideas and things. So I thought I'd show that. So I'm going to put my friends in this container. This is where all of my miscellaneous dolls go, like extra Disney dolls that I don't have room for on display, and smaller collections like Heart Family, just the big dolls though, not the little ones. I have a separate container for them, and I did redo some of their hair. Some of these dolls did get baths, and then my school time Mrs. Hart, she needed a fresh boil wash. Her hair is super nice now, and I changed her outfit because I was bored of the one she was wearing. It was this one. She was wearing it in the video. And then this is where the Hart family children live. They have their own little compartment here. So I realized why Tarzan has a like fat head. I thought I would try to shrink up his neck hole when I was reboil washing his hair, which it does look better. It's not as crazy. But he actually has like tears on the inside of his neck rim, so that's why he has like this chubby face as opposed to my other guy where you can see some neck. If you're wondering, they live in a container with other like miscellaneous small dolls. So not Kelly, but like I have my my bags of babies. These are they're the same mold as the Hart family kids, but they're regular Barbie line kids. So like I have a bunch of teacher kids right there. These are Colleen's Madeline dolls and her kid Katie's. And then back there, those are my spare perfume like mini Disney dolls. And then like let me show you someone special. So, if you want to know what the first, like, fashion doll we ever had in the house was, this is a Princess Magic Touch. We named her Marshall as kids. She was Colleen's, and she was the first fashion doll that we ever had, and Colleen had her before I was even born, and that's why she doesn't have an original outfit. She fits these Sweetsville Kelly clothes really nicely, though, and these are star shoes. But yeah, and I had to reroot her because I cut her hair as a kid because it was really frizzy and nasty. So she lives in this container too, along with like my mini kingdom Annalise. And yeah, just a bunch of random dolls. Okay, so I did something really sneaky. Colleen and I don't like do Christmas gifts for each other officially usually because she can't drive and we both like, you know, we share everything, so it's difficult to surprise one another. But since Be Forever Molly came out, I know Colleen's wanted her, and even though like the doll herself isn't like super duper different from like Molly's past, besides the outfit, I know she really wanted a new Molly doll because this was like a big deal for her. And back when they retired Molly in 2013, I remember asking her if she wanted any of the clothes she didn't have before Molly retired, and we weren't like super back into American Girl back then, so she was like, no, I don't really like the newer stuff, which she later regretted. And so we don't live near like a Costco or anything. We don't have a membership there, and American Girl apparently isn't releasing this Molly. So I decided to be sneaky and order Molly as a surprise for Christmas for Colleen on eBay. So I'm going to open her up now. I want to do this like, because today is Friday. This is wrapped really good. Today is Friday, so I'm going to be picking Colleen up in like an hour and a half. So I need to make sure that this doll is like, first of all, that I got the right thing in the mail. And next of all, so that Colleen doesn't see her. I was really afraid Molly was going to come early because she's been in Massachusetts for like a day. But we came home late last night and I was afraid that FedEx would have shown up because we had to take our guinea pig Nevaeh to the ER basically. Long story, I'll explain it later. She's okay for now. But luckily, this package had not come. And I've been keeping it a secret. I'm pretty good at keeping secrets. Colleen, not too much. But I really want to do something special for her. Because she's kind of had a rough year for a lot of different reasons. And this is Molly's her most prized possession. So this wasn't the best deal, but this wasn't the worst deal. I wanted to get like the whole thing, not just the doll, not just the pajamas, because they did price things out separately, and you can get the pajamas for about $20, which isn't bad, but I wanted to get her the whole kit and caboodle, like the accessories, and I knew she wanted a meat outfit, and like the cheapest you can get those are like for $50, which is kind of ridiculous. Oh my god. I'm gonna turn the camera down. This is really exciting. This is a super cool packaging. tiny. I'm really excited. Oh, she's gonna love her. I thought this box for some reason would be really big, but this will definitely slide under my bed. So here she is. Colleen has no idea. None whatsoever. I don't know, like, a lot of people I heard were complaining about this doll's eyes or something. I don't understand. But to me, she looks just like Molly. Colleen is gonna love her, and like this packaging is really cool. I bet she's gonna want to like keep this packaging to use for something else. But I think it's really awesome that they brought her back. So I'm gonna wrap her up, and I am gonna be making her a card, but I won't have time to do that because I still have to make the guinea pigs meals for the week and meal prep them. So I'm gonna hide Molly under my bed. And I don't know if I'm gonna put her out on Christmas Eve morning or on Christmas morning. I haven't decided yet, but I'm gonna leave her out on the kitchen table for Colleen to find on one of those 2 days.
Hi, Clyde. What are you doing? What are you doing? Hello. Hello.
No, this isn't the one I wanted to. I want another.
Are you gonna be nice, Andy? Where's Tootie?
Do you care what backdrop I use?
No.
What?
Oh, there's Tootie. Oh my God, he just jumped on Andy. Hello. Say hello to the camera. Rude. Rude. Yellow. Hello, Tootie. Hello. What are you doing? What are you doing, little brother? What are you smelling? Oh, hello, Clyde. Hello? Say hello. Are we being lazy? Mom just let you out for playtime and we're being lazy. What are you not? No, we don't pee. I see that. Rude.
They move around so quick.
It is a little over a week before Christmas, and it was a week before Christmas and all through the house. Not an American Girl doll was dressed in her Christmas clothes. Not even a one. So ironically, recently someone said to Shelly on the comments, "Oh, you guys should have left them in their spring clothes because they look pretty." Well, they are still in their spring clothes because normally I'd have dressed them by now. I feel like a bad mother, like I'm making excuses, but you know, at the beginning of the school year, like in October, the water heater went, which, you know, the great flood. What ended up happening is there were several weeks where I actually couldn't address the American Girls, or at least not very easily, because the drawers downstairs where we keep their shoes, which is where I got these from, they were actually blocked off by our Barbie Grand Hotel and our High School Musical high school. So I actually couldn't have dressed them. It was all just chaotic. And then for the last little over a week, Nevaeh's actually been sick, our guinea pig. She has an infection and she's getting better. I'm actually waiting for the vet to call about medicine, but she's not fully better and I've been worried about her a lot. So there's that. And then those are just like the things that, you know, life happens. But the other thing is that normally I'm actually the one who just feels motivated to dress them up. However, for the last, since the end of the summer, no, the middle of the summer, I don't know if you guys have noticed or have heard via YouTube that we're actually changing a lot of our photos on Flickr. We're like revamping a lot. So right now, for example, I'm actually revamping an old photo and dressing these two dolls. I'm dressing them up for Christmas and retaking the photo of when they jointly got their holiday outfits. You know, I've added a backdrop and I set up our Christmas tree, and you may wonder why the lights are actually on. It's because I have the cord under the backdrop and I actually had to move our dining room table. This is what my dining room looks like right now. This is pretty typical for when I'm taking doll photos. I take apart the entire kitchen. So I wanted to show a behind the scenes clip, hi Andy, of what a typical photo shoot, like the behind the scenes, would look like for me as I'm retaking photos for Flickr. Now, I'm going to preface this by saying if this was a fashion doll sized photo shoot instead of American Girl, which my models for this particular one are all 18-inch, I would be way more likely to like have the basement blown apart right now. I mean, there's a few things out of place like Molly's trunk, but it's not that bad. It's kind of like what a typical workstation looks like for me. I usually use the dining room table now because it's a nice level surface and it's easy to reach, and even in the winter it's pretty warm in here, and it's really good lighting. So it's, you know, the fanciest lighting we're going to have in this house. Also, I like it because it's spacious. Sometimes, like right now, as I'm spreading out my work stuff, like I brought up the earrings because I have something I plan to do with Jess and Valerie. If I can fit Valerie in the photo, which I better because I'm going to change her. I brought up the earrings, some of the earrings that Shelly made for our dolls, so that I can have them right here. And then usually, even when I'm just dressing the dolls, I bring up both sorting bowls, but 4 small pieces, so that as I go and I take things off of dolls, I can put the shoes I'm not using or plan to bring downstairs or whatever in here. And then I like to use the bigger bin, so that this way here, especially with American Girl, you have a lot of really small stuff, like Molly's little necklace. And oops, that's stuck on her camera. And a lot of bigger stuff. It's kind of weird because it's a couple days before Christmas and I'm putting the dolls in their bathing suits for this photo. Dressing people, I'm kind of wiping them down. Sammy over here was actually in cabinet, but I'm wiping her down with a dry cloth anyway. I cleaned up the deck chair. Yeah, Sam, I just need to comb her hair and stuff. I'm doing a little dolly maintenance as I go. And, oh, another thing is while I set up, I like to listen to music because it's just nice. So yesterday I took the picture, but I didn't actually finish changing people back out of their bathing suits. I decided, why put them back in spring clothes when it's winter? So it's weird. It's 2 days before Christmas, although it doesn't really look like it outside. It's not like any snow or anything exciting. Billie Jean in a Christmas dress, because Shelly dressed her recently. And Sunny and Eddie in like school clothes. Grace and Lindsay still dressed for spring. And Jess in a bikini. Baby's in bikinis. And Julie in her bathing suit. This looks a little bit weird. And then, even weirder, we have the Sam that I undressed last weekend for a photo in her holiday garb. But the Sam next to her is still in a bathing suit. And then Valerie is also in one of Jess's bathing suits still. Emily, who I was completely enamored by last night as I was dressing her, she's in her holiday outfit, and put Molly in her winter PJs. Everybody else is still dressed for spring, so it's a work in progress. So I'm dressing American Girl dolls just to like dress them and not for any specific purpose. I usually just change them in here. So since I pulled out Sam's, like I brought up some bags. I brought up yesterday while I was in Sam's drawer, I saw this and I knew this is what I wanted her to wear. And I even remembered to grab the black tights from the sock and shoe set. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. I actually think of all the dolls I dressed today, I like Isabel the best, so I'm glad that because Valerie was wearing the Snow Good to See You outfit in another photo, that I ended up putting Valerie back in that, and this was kind of left over, so I put it on Izzy. She was wearing this really cute outfit, the sequin skirt set, but her hair looks kind of flyaway right now. That's actually what I want to talk about. She has Connectlon, which is unusual in a doll this size. Like, not American Girl type Connectlon, but like Barbie Connectlon from the 90s. It's that kind of hair, and she's so cute. But she's reminding me right now why I don't really like Connectlon, especially on a doll of this magnitude.
So, this year, we are building this house. So, normally, I like to go for kind of weird ones, and I was hoping to get something like Shopkins this year, but
I was hoping for Mickey Mouse.
I know, they didn't have anything really at Walmart when I looked at the beginning of the month, and then I forgot with everything that happened. So we went the day before Christmas Eve and got this because this was the only house that they had. So it's like the one we made in 2015 for the first time.
Yep.
So Colin calls it the Gingy and Susie house. And we always have doll helpers, so of course you've got to have Be Forever Molly,
New Molly.
whose glasses are really cockeyed right now.
That's just how they went on.
And then we have old Molly, and calling his Emily, who she fell back in love with.
Madly in love with Emily.
And then I decided, because you know me, I have like many favorites. I was gonna do Marie Grace and Caroline again this year, but then I thought that wouldn't be fair. So I have Kirsten because she hasn't been in a photo yet, and I got her this dress like right after I got her eye replaced. And she's kind of special because like when we started the channel, she was one of my first videos when I like sent her to the doll hospital. So, you know, gotta show that love to Kirsten. And then Elizabeth got ripped off because the first year we made the gingerbread house was the year we got her and a Duke and Emily. And I didn't put her in the photo because I wanted Nellie in her Christmas outfit instead. So she's
Nellie looks
getting
really
made
great
up
in
for
her
it.
Christmas outfit.
And then Ivy's just one of my favorites, and she looks so cute in this outfit. So why not? I don't know why we keep doing this and expecting a different outcome. The roof is falling, the wall is caving in, the decorations look like trash, the gingerbread people look hammered.
And I want to add that she can't stop swearing and I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, this is a disaster. It's ugly, it's hideous, everything's falling off. And you know, the worst part is it was going pretty smoothly at first. So now we are going to eat it now that I took my thumbnail pictures. And
We were going to take out the backdrop, but because the roof was threatening to fall down and I was actually holding it up while she set the dolls up, we decided we didn't have time for that.
yes, this was very time sensitive.
So yeah.
So for the last part of this video, since it's technically the holiday edition, although it wasn't as festive as it's been in years past, we are going to do our recap of last year's resolutions and then the ones we have for 2019. The first one that we had was filming more of our series for As Told by Dollies, which is basically like our skit series for dolls.
We only did one more episode.
At least we did one. They're really time consuming, and the thing is, because we're like making the dolls act out, we have to really be in the mood to do it. I wanted to sew, like do more sewing. So at the beginning of last year, sometime in January, I got a new sewing machine when I had the money because my friend Lisa paid me to do her hair, and then we had a gift card, and I didn't set that up until this month, so in December. And I had a lot of reasons for that. I think mostly I was just like in a really bad place for the most of the year, and I didn't want to like start sewing with like a stressed mindset and like a defeatist mindset. I wanted it to be like a positive experience, and I'm really glad I...
Why are you squawking tonight? It's not dinner. No, you greedy lady. No, that's very cute.
In
You're
their
very
defense,
cute.
it is pretty close to the time
I
they
know,
usually get
I
fed.
usually do feed you around this time. Are you hungry? Why are you squeaking this whole time? Oh my goodness, I feel so guilty.
I should probably feed them.
I know. Oh, you get free. This is for you.
I'm glad I waited because it was a much better experience for me than like all of the previous times I've tried to sew, and I love my new sewing machine. It's so much easier to use, and I will say that there have been plenty of times when I was making stuff for the guinea pigs or like our potpourri sachets for dolls where I was like, huh, am I doing something wrong? Because it was so easy. The next one was to be more careful with money. How do you think we did on this?
I think you were actually frugal to the point of too frugal.
We had to be though. You have to admit we had to be.
We are going to disagree. I don't believe
our
we
well
were-
pump went twice. Our well tank went. Our water heater went. There was the $1,000 of body work on the old Jeep. At the time the tire fell off. There was the time that it overheated and we needed to get a water pump. There was
I say YOLO.
There was buying Nomad. there was all kinds of expenses.
I say she did too well on that one. I say YOLO.
And speaking of which, one of my financial goals last year had been to get Cecile. That didn't happen, and I'm okay with that. Like, I'm eventually gonna get her. These next ones are pretty much all related to like our social media for dolls. Flickr retakes and like cleaning up Flickr. We did a lot on Flickr, like a lot, and I think I'll go more into that in a few minutes.
I think we put more energy into Flickr than we did into YouTube.
Yeah, and we were more consistent. I mean, it's hard to consistently be consistent.
And I'm glad we did, because when we found out that you actually had to pay now for more than 1,000 photos, it was really a no-brainer to me, because I'd literally just taken like so many of the My Story photos over and was so happy with them that I was like, there's no way I'm losing all this work.
It made it worth paying for.
It made it a totally easy decision.
We had wanted to do more videos, but honestly, this was like the worst year in terms of videos since I started. I would have spurts where I would upload a few times a week or like once a week, and then there'd be like 3 weeks, 4 weeks where I wouldn't upload because of just how things played out this year.
We did have a lot of that chaos, like she said, with the well pump.
There was a lot, and we'll talk more about that in a little while. In terms of fun facts, so like our personal fun facts on Flickr, I said last year that I was upset that we didn't have more of them rewritten. So I wrote, hold phone, 622 fun facts. Now,
I wrote maybe 15 or 20 of those.
622. That's not individual photos. That number is probably close to doubled, because I would count one fun fact for everything that encompassed with a doll. We wanted to work on doll maintenance, and when you see our little book that I'll show you of our monthly goals from this year, we did some and then we didn't do others. I feel like that was kind of like half fail, half success. And then one of my goals was to not let comments bother me as much. And honestly, I can say that I don't really give a crap about comments anymore. I think because I spent so much time away from YouTube this year. I think when I first started YouTube, I was so excited about it that was kind of all I could think about. It felt really surreal being a YouTuber when I've like spent so much time watching YouTube and fantasizing about what it would be like to like share my dolls on YouTube. That it was like all I would think about, and I'd have all of these ideas, and that's why there was like a lot of videos at some point. And then when my channel kind of grew a little bit, and not like I have a huge channel, there was definitely more of those like regular critical comments or like weird comments or like the nasty comments of like you're ugly or you're fat or whatever. Those never bother me because it's just ridiculous. Like, I mean, if someone wants to comment on my appearance, like, I'm not a beauty queen, I'm not a model. If I cared about how I looked, I would put a lot more effort into how I look. Same with Colleen, like, we don't care. Like, our goal in life isn't to be attractive to people. And like, if people complain about how much I talk about my dolls, again, that's like not really something I care about. It's more like just those people who like twist things. They would be like trying to pit me and Colleen against each other, or like trying to say how we felt about our parents, things like that, where it's like more personal. So because I spent so much time away from it, especially like kind of come like the past 6 months, I honestly like, I don't care. It doesn't wind me up at all anymore, because like YouTube and like real life are so different, and there's so much stuff in my real life that I've worked on this year that I just don't care. So, your personal goal. We each did one personal goal last year.
Mine was to spend more time writing at home on my book. I did this summer when we let the chinchillas out. But honestly, I got so into reading.
You finished your book though.
Well, I did. I did finish writing the book, but I have yet to. I've typed 6 out of 34 chapters and have edited 0 out of 34 chapters. So I do need to work on that. But I'm too busy writing the second book, and I'm mostly working on it when I'm not at home. So I do need to get better about that. But honestly, I got so into like reading that when I have time at night, I like to be in bed with a book. Somewhere, at some point, J.K. Rowling said, the best way to become a good writer is to do a lot of reading. So, you know, obviously, I'm taking good advice.
So for me, my personal goal last year was to work on my mental health because I was in kind of like a 2-year decline. And
I'd say you've done a lot better.
the first 3-4 months of the year were the worst I have felt since I was 17. Like, I mean, I'm gonna make a whole video kind of about like this in more detail, but honestly, I felt like I was losing my mind. Like, I was in a really, really dark place, and it was very hard for me to get on camera and like articulate anything for that reason, because I didn't even feel like I knew who I was anymore. I feel like I became a person that I just didn't like. I became like that bitter and like Debbie Downer and like what's the point kind of person, because I was just so like in such a bad place. But then like kind of come the summer, spring, usually I feel a little bit better when it's like sunnier out. I did better, and it actually wasn't until I'd say like the end of September, the beginning of October, when kind of all the like, pardon my French here, when the shit hit the fan in our real lives with like a ton of things going on, that I actually feel like I felt like the switch go on in my head, and like I feel right now the best I have. This might be the best I've ever felt, despite the fact that we lost Nevaeh, despite the fact that there's so much bad stuff going on. Like, I honestly can say that I feel a lot better. It's just I don't really, I've taken such a step back from videos that like it's weird to get back into making them, which is part of why you guys haven't seen that, why it might seem like I'm not doing well, because I haven't been uploading regularly really, but actually it's just because I've been in like such a good place.
Roxy and Yaya are eating the edible log.
I'll show you our little goal book at the end. So for our 2019 goals, we want to redo all of our main guide photos on Flickr. So we have a new background that we changed over in June that we've been working on. We have some albums done, but we didn't get as far as we wanted this year.
I feel like we were doing really good in the summer, and then we lost steam mid-fall.
We want to redo all of those, like the main, like the bodies and the faces.
We want to finish a majority of the like old My Story photos. I don't know if you guys have looked, but I've been taking my original ideas for most, there's a few I've completely overhauled, and just like giving them a backdrop, added some dolls, added some detail, and made it more colorful and vibrant. And not just the My Stories, but like video thumbnails, things like that.
Yeah, we're overhauling a lot.
Exactly. So, but I feel like I've actually done a really good job so far on that. I feel like that's actually why I stopped doing guide photos, and once I realized I was retaking those, I got so preoccupied with that, and she was like, oh yeah, you do that, you know, it's cold in the house. You can go do that, let me know when it's set up, I'll take a picture.
Yeah.
It became a crush for both of us.
We're gonna have like several, like a video series on everything that we've changed and like kind of the evolution of 1,000 Splendid Dolls sometime down the road. It'll be like a Dolly Tales kind of like mini series that we're gonna do.
Yeah.
I've been like saving photos and we've been talking about things, so
It's gonna
we'll
be good.
getting that this year. And we definitely want to continue with the monthly goals because that was awesome. And like,
And that's the book she's gonna show you.
yeah, and that honestly, like when I look back and I see like what we have accomplished, even though I see a lot of goals that we never did,
I feel empowered.
it does, and I feel like that actually motivated me to keep going. And sometimes it gave me too much motivation to do certain things.
Collection videos. Charlie says we need to film more collection videos. I usually don't push this issue because I feel like the longer you wait, the more impressive a collection video is. Because we only ever add to the
I
board.
think I did less than 6 this whole year.
My main goal with that being said is to finally get up the Skipper collection video because everybody's been asking for it. It was filmed at one
I've
point.
had people almost be mad at me, like, I've been waiting, and it's like, I'm sorry, it's not my dolls. Like,
It's right, because I'm the one that's gonna be doing most of the talking, and I'm not home as much.
and I feel really bad because in general, I haven't done as much on YouTube this year, as I mentioned before. So I want to do more in 2019. I want to, like, I never want to have, like, a schedule. Like, YouTube's not my job. It's something I do for fun. But I do want to get back to more consistent, even if it's just one video a week.
We want to, in terms of maintenance, kind of take more time to dress our American Girl dolls up seasonally. Usually, I do pretty well with this. Not always, and it's actually documented that I haven't always. But usually I feel like I do, but this year I'm usually one who doesn't, and I drop the ball because, again, when I realized I could set up those My Story dioramas,
So what's your personal goal this year?
I thought of it. My goal is a pledge to you that I'm going to try to be a better listener.
That's a nice one. You're a terrible listener.
I'm a terrible
It's funny
listener.
because I remember one of the comments I referenced last year on my goals when I said that a comment made me almost not want to continue a series. And if you're watching this video, I'm sorry, I'm not going to say your username, but someone accused me of being a camera hog on our Dolly Tales I'm Thankful
Slap.
series. Because apparently I talked about one of Colleen's dolls.
It wasn't I'm Thankful, it was Dolls from Christmas Past.
Yes, I'm sorry. And I was heartbroken because I've seen like this on YouTube. Like I watch YouTube a lot. I don't watch doll people, but I watch all kinds of other YouTube. And one of the things I've noticed is that when people start to critique you, when you start to get some kind of audience, people will pit you against everyone that they know who's in your life that they see on camera. And I was always afraid that people would like twist me and Colleen's relationship in some way, and then it happened.
And they made it sound like I was this defenseless creature, and that she's this like talkaholic, and I'm like, and I just thought it was funny because it's like, dude, maybe 30 if I want. It's like. She doesn't have me locked in a closet and doesn't like take the camera away from me. It's like, if I wanted to, I could start my own channel. Like, I can do what I want. Like,
and I said that, and I even said, I don't know why I responded to this person, but like, she didn't even want to be on YouTube. She advocated for me not to have a channel at first.
Right, and then when I liked the channel, I liked watching her, and I was like,
it was because of
I don't want to be in any of the videos.
She got into the videos because
Right.
I asked her, and then like I encouraged it. Like,
and I still like watching the ones where it's just her.
the thing is, I hate listening to myself talk. When
And I
I
hate
edit a
listening to
video,
myself talk.
I like want to kill myself because I'm just so annoyed. And that's one of the reasons why I didn't upload this much this year, because my self-esteem was negative 200. So I couldn't stand myself. Like, for me, the reason why I come off as talking more on camera, and I don't know why I'm even like decent at it, because I've had like family members who watched it say that they were surprised at how well I did, was because I don't get a word in edgewise in real life. And I never felt confident enough in like talking in real life to people because I felt like they were bored, because I get anxious and I start thinking, oh, they're not listening, oh, they think I'm boring, I'm talking too much about myself. Because of how like I overprocess things, I feel like I don't get to express myself as much in person, and so it's so much easier talking to a camera. And then if I think, oh, why did I say that? I can just like edit it out. So that's why I talk more on camera and why she talks less. But in real life,
I talk all the time, and then the problem is that she'll pick me up at work and she'll tell me something, and I'll be like, I'll be listening to the radio, thinking my own thoughts, and I'll just not be processing. Like, there's something you did, like last week when you told me that you sewed their fleeces. I had a feeling you did, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I didn't want to like ask you only to be yelled at, so I just came home and saw the fleece.
I mean, we have our flaws, and our relationship as sisters isn't perfect. And I'll admit, like, I am the boss. Like, I am like the mom. Everyone jokes and says I'm Colleen's mom, because that's just like, I have a very like no nonsense kind of maternal-ish like vibe. And Colleen's kind of like the scatterbrained, like all over the place person.
There was this time when she legit, like, we were leaving and I was talking to her about a book I was reading, and she legit like handed me my wallet, handed me the cell phone, handed me my sweatshirt, pushed me out the door, loaded me in the Jeep, took me to the gas station where I talked to her the whole way about the book. She got back in from pumping gas, and I just kept on going, like, until I was done.
I mean, you're not perfect people, and I admit, like, I am bossy, like, because I know how I like things. But as far as, like,
your New Year's resolution should
to
be...
be nicer to you.
No, I was going to say that next time you help me clean my closet, like, keep in mind it's my closet.
You're a hoarder. Speaking of my resolution, mine...
That'd be nicer to Colleen.
No, I think I need to be harder on you. Everyone's too nice on you. They feed you candy and Pepsi at work, and then I have to deal with it when you come home drunk. This is her.
Drunk on Pepsi.
Yeah. So mine is kind of on the realm of mental health. it's to stay more motivated. I feel like something that happens when you get really depressed is that you stop seeing the point in doing things. And there would literally be whole days this past year where I would just cry or like sit there and feel nothing and not really do anything except the bare minimum. Like obviously there were things I had to do, but like when I had free time where I could have been doing extra things, I didn't. And I feel like that's something I find that the days where I literally like just go and like I keep busy all day to the point where sometimes I don't even eat because I'm so busy, I feel a lot better. And it's a lot better for my mental health when I'm like that. And I also get a lot more done with
When I
my
don't eat,
dolls.
it's not good for my mental
And
health.
no, you get really angry. That's the only time she's angry. That and when she has to make phone calls and she gets one of those automated things. That's the only time you're gonna see
They'll be
Mom
like,
angry.
para español, imprima dos, and I'll be like smashing the wall. Representative, representative.
So for me, that's what I want to do. Stay motivated, stay busy, because it makes me feel better. Like emotionally, it keeps me more balanced. Because
Right, because then if you don't stay motivated and then you look back at what you didn't get done, I feel like that just makes you
that's
feel
the
worse.
cycle. And that's something I've heard from people who have depression is that they wake up with a plan of action, and then obviously their mental illness gets the best of them, and then they feel like a failure, and it feeds into that, like, what's the point, and that's definitely where I was at plenty of times this year. I think that that's the thing, like, I'm naturally kind of like a go-getter kind of personality, like, I'm not outgoing, but like, I always have things I want to do. I have like so many ideas in my head, and so many things I want to get done, and I'm always like starting things and working things, and I don't usually like leave a lot of time for just like lounging around and not doing stuff, and I feel like I lost that kind of piece of myself this year. I kind of forgot what that was like because I was just so sad and so like empty, and that's what I want to work on. So this was my goal book. This is an old sketchbook that I never finished in high school, and I decided to do something productive with it and make it into my doll book. So I'm just gonna flip through some of these pages so you can see I had like it divided by like Flickr, YouTube, doll maintenance, and then these were things that weren't on the original list. And this column here made me feel good about myself because sometimes I'm just like, I change my mind about what I feel motivated to work on, and so I'll work on other things instead of what I originally planned, and some of these things just like never got done. And then these were like,
Well, for the first like 4 months, you put, what was it, set up sewing machine.
yeah, and I didn't.
And you didn't do it. Then after a while, you took it off the list because you felt bad.
Yeah. So then these were like little side things, like different. I have a bunch of these you're gonna see. Like, so this was like going through doll clothes, which we stopped midway through. So then you can see here like all these fun fact tallies. This extras column was huge. I did a lot of doll guides, like moving my doll guides, like my book things I make, onto Colleen's Google Drive. I did a bunch of that this year, and also we like did a lot of like labeling of the dolls in the photos. Like you added the notes in. No, Pooh Bear, get off! And then like this was going through the doll containers. That list I barely used. Then there's more of these. We had a personal column for a while. Yeah, you can see like right here, 3 potpourri sachets. I made a bunch of those this month. I made like, I think, oh, I have the tally. I'll show you at the end. But yeah, some of them are no-brainers. Like I always made sure to like put something in about film something for Dolly Diaries. Yeah, and then for a while we were doing like go through 2 things of drawers and 1 container of dolls. That got dropped off at some point. And then these are our American Girl like retake things. We sorted out who we want and what. We haven't actually retaken any of these except the Bitty Babies. Then this is like for Flickr, all the albums, like taking the new photos. I added line info, so all the dolls in an associated line. I did all of that. These were like when I finished an album's fun facts. I did a ton of those. I finished a ton of albums. And then, I mean, not for all of like the whole thing, but if I count off the individual albums, it was a lot. More here. You can see how many fun facts I did that month. Look, see, all fun facts. In this one alone, I did 1, 2, 3. I did 3 albums in this month.
Wow.
Those are smaller albums, but still, like you can see the pictures that I retook here when I finally fixed Snow White's arm in July. There wasn't much in August. We were really busy that month. But retook 8 My Story photos. This was September. See, And right when I actually rewrote the thing too. Some of these I never did. And then this is this month. I barely did any fun facts because this month just flew by. But see, 5, 10, 15, 20, 24 potpourri sachets. And I actually have more that just don't have potpourri in them because I ran out. And then we have the My Story photos. So I have them broken down by like the type of things they are. So these are all like the retakes that you can see. We have a bunch checked off. I counted. I want to say we have over 20 that we've done so far. I counted last night. And then these are the collection video edit things. I'll explain more of that in a different video. So we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of Dolly Diaries Holiday Edition. And we will see you guys in 2019. There might be one more video after this, but we'll see you guys in 2019 nonetheless. And until next time, love your dolls, love yourself, and love your life.